Good day, everyone. Welcome again to another episode of tax training, and this time I will discuss to you the tax types for bloggers. So let's start with the registration fee. Under Section 236B, annual registration fee is required. An annual registration fee in the amount of 500 pesos for every separate or distinct establishment or place of business, including facility types where sales transaction occur, shall be paid upon registration and every year thereafter on or before the last day of January. Another is the income tax. Under Section 24A, rates of income tax on individual citizen and individual resident alien of the Philippines. An income tax is hereby imposed. Letter A, on the taxable income defined in Section 31 of the Code, derived for its taxable year from all sources within and without the Philippines by every individual citizen of the Philippines residing therein. So, individual Filipino citizen is taxable on income derived from within the Philippines or even outside the Philippines. They are all taxable here in the Philippines. Letter B, on the taxable income defined in Section 31 of this Code for its taxable year from all sources within the Philippines by an individual citizen of the Philippines who is residing outside of the Philippines, including overseas contract worker. So for those Filipino citizen but resident of another country, they are taxed only on income within the Philippines. Letter C, on the taxable income defined in Section 31 of this Code, derived for its taxable year from all sources within the Philippines by an individual alien who is a resident of the Philippines. So, an alien residing here in the Philippines are also taxable on income derived within the Philippines. Those income outside the Philippines are not taxable here because they are an alien. So, taxable income, what do you mean by taxable income? It is the pertinent items of gross income specified in this code, less the deductions and or personal and additional exemptions, if any, authorized for such types of income by this code or other special laws. For the taxable income, we have another topic to discuss on the taxable income because we will determine the gross income less deductions and the tax due or the tax rate that we should impose. So that would be in another topic. Another tax type is the percentage tax or the VAT. A percentage tax of 3% shall be paid by a person whose sales or receipts are exempt from VAT under Section 116 of the NIRC. Why exempt from VAT? Because the threshold of the VAT sales of 3 million is not achieved by these taxpayers. That the sale is below 3 million, so it is subject to percentage tax only. A VAT of 12% shall be paid by the seller of services based on gross receipts derived from sale or exchange of services under Section 108 of the NIRC. And remember, the VAT has a threshold of 3 million. So, if your sale of services, the gross receipts, already more than 3 million, then you are mandatorily subject to the 12% value-added tax. Withholding tax on compensation, this is another tax type, especially if the blogger has an employee. Every employer making payment of wages shall deduct and withhold upon such wages a tax determined in accordance with the rules and regulations to be prescribed by the Secretary of Finance upon recommendation of the Commissioner. That is Section 79A of the National Internal Revenue Code. That is the legal basis on withholding tax on compensation. And we have also expanded withholding tax. What is this expanded withholding tax? Section 57B of the NIRC, withholding of creditable tax at source. The Secretary of Finance may, upon the recommendation of the Commissioner, require the withholding of a tax on the items of income payable to natural or juridical persons residing in the Philippines by payer corporations, persons, as provided for by law, at the rate of no less than 1%, but not more than 35% thereof, which shall be credited against the income tax liability of the taxpayer for the taxable year. What are the example of this expanded withholding tax? This can be the 5% withholding tax on rent if the blogger has an office and rented an space for that office, then the rent should be subjected to the 5% withholding tax. Also, with janitorial services, subject also to 2% expanded withholding tax, or security payment for security guards, also subject to 2% expanded withholding tax. Documentary stamp tax, if there is a lease contract, there is a contract of services that is going to be rendered, then the blogger should also pay documentary stamp tax. And what is the legal basis? Section 173 of the NIRC, stamp tax upon documents, loan agreements, instruments, and papers. Upon documents, instruments, loan agreements, sales, and transfer of the obligation, right, or property incident thereto, there shall be levied, collected, and paid for, and in respect of the transaction so had or accomplished, the corresponding documentary stamp tax is prescribed in the following section of this title by the person making, signing, issuing, accepting, or transferring the same wherever the document is made, signed, issued, accepted, or transferred when the obligation or right arises from the Philippine sources or the property is situated in the Philippines, and at the same time such act is done or transaction had. So documentary stamp tax should also be paid for the documents executed by the blogger. So as a recap, what are the tax types that should be paid by the blogger? So we have the registration fee to be paid every January of the year. We have income tax. Income tax should be paid annually and quarterly. We have percentage tax if the sale or the gross receipts of the blogger does not exceed 3 million, so has to pay percentage tax at the rate of 3% on a quarterly basis. Or value-added tax at the rate of 12% if the gross receipt of the blogger exceed 3 million, and that should be paid monthly and filed also monthly and quarterly. Another is withholding tax on compensation if the blogger has an employee. Also expanded withholding tax if the blogger are renting for some space or paying services, subject to expanded withholding tax. And another tax type is the documentary stamp tax for documents. That is all for today, and our discussion will focus only on tax types. Some other topics will focus on the how to compute the income tax of a blogger. So thank you. Please share, like, subscribe our tax channel, or share to others so that they will also learn. Thank you.